Okay, so you guys are going to be creating a dream house project where you're going to be constructing the house from lots of different parts, and none of them are going to be actual house parts other than windows and doors. You can use windows and doors, but everything else needs to be built from Photoshop and just by duplicating images and distorting images and changing images. So first thing you need to do is find an image that'll work for your background. So I went to Bing, I made sure I went to extra large, got a nice extra large image, and this is going to be my background image. You can put your dream house wherever you want. Let's just say this is my dream house because I really like cold weather, which isn't true, by the way. I love weather, but I just found this image, and I thought it'd be perfect for the project. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my objects. Now for this project, for the project due on Tuesday, you're going to use 7 objects that you find, and on Thursday it's going to be 12. So here I have a mailbox, I have a fork, I have a tree, I have a cloudscape, I have a door, I have a window, and I think I have a window twice. Door, window, and no, that's it. Door, window, oh, and the cupcake. So I'm going to go ahead and bring those in one at a time. I think I'm going to construct my whole foundation for my house out of the cupcake. So let me take that and I'll split it apart. And actually, that's not the one I want to split. I want to put this one back in there and then pull this one out. All right. So anytime you want to collapse or break a window, you just wait for that little blue bar and you click and drag and you can collapse the window. So then I can move my cupcake over. There it is. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to get rid of that background. We've done this before. I'm going to go to the Magic Erase tool. I'm going to click on it once. First it says I can't do it, but as soon as, because it's a smart object right now, if I click on it again, it's going to ask me, do you want to rasterize it? And we say yes, and it's ready to go, and I can use my Magic Erase tool. Well, it didn't work very well. Oh, because my tolerance is so low. So let me just go back in time. I had changed my tolerance when I was doing another project. So let me go to 32, which is the default for the tolerance. Let me see how that works. Much better. Let me see if I can go down here. And then this, I might just go in with my regular erase tool and clean this up. All right, it's good enough. I'm actually just going to select the top of it right now. So let me go ahead and select the top. Now we're going to use the quick selection tool. We haven't used this before. Quick selection tool, when it comes out, you're going to use the brackets to make the brush bigger. So the right bracket makes it bigger, 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 and the left bracket makes it smaller, 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 smaller. So this one's pretty easy. I just click the top of my cupcake and it's selected all of the top of my cupcake. Now with the quick selection tool, if you make a mistake, let's say it selects too much, and let's say I don't want this brown part, all I need to do is hold down Option, and then it becomes a deselection tool. So you look at the middle of that circle, you see it's a plus sign, then I hold down Option, it becomes a minus sign. And then I can go in and say, nope, don't want that. All right, so sometimes you got to play around with it a little bit. So anytime you're holding down the Option, it's going to be a minus, and then once you lift it up a plus sign. Now I want to duplicate this layer. We've done this before. If I do Command plus J, or maybe we haven't done this before, Command J or Command Juice, it's going to make an exact duplicate of that image that is in the active selection area. So I do Command J, and now look at this. On this layer, I have just the top of the cupcake. All right, so that's what I'm going to use to start building my house. So I'm going to use the transform tool by doing Command T, and I'm going to go ahead and shrink this down, and then once I have it, I can start building my house. So I hold down Option with my Move tool, Option with my Move tool, Option with my Move tool, Option with my Move tool. So I can start over here. They don't have to all be the same size. Maybe I make this row a little bit smaller because it'll make it a little bit more visually interesting. Line it up. Option, Option, Option. There we go. And I can start to build what is going to be a cupcake house. Now, if I click off the background layer and then I take the Move tool and I can select all these at once, then hold down Option, and I look at how many I have at once. All right? Or I can take both these, Option, and do these both at one time. So my house is getting into shape. Let me take them all and let's make a taller house. There we go. So that was actually fairly easy to do. Once I feel confident, I'm like, wow, I really like this. Let me just save one. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. Let me click off that. Gives it 1 second. I'm asking it to do too much. When you have too many things going on in Photoshop, Photoshop kind of gets grumpy with you. So let me click off. Nothing is selected. I select just the top cupcake option. I just want that one because if I ever want to go back in and use another cupcake, once I merge these, I'm going to just select them all. So again on the move tool, click and drag, it forms that box. Anything that's in the box is going to be selected over here. Then do a Command E or Command Elefante, and it merges all together. There we go. Now I've got my house, which I can move as one object, and then I've got my top of my cupcake. I might use this as the roof. I'm not 100% sure right now. So let me just hide that layer, but not that one, that one. And then I'm going to bring some of the other images in. So the cupcake can go away, and now I can bring in, let me see, I have my door, my window, my tree, my fork. I think I use the fork as like some part of the roof. I'm not sure how I'll use that, but let me bring that one in. There's my fork. And I'm going to go ahead and go to my magic erase tool and just select on the back. First rasterize it, and then, all right. Uh-oh, it's too much. It ate into my fork, if you guys can see that now. So I do Command Z to rewind, and then I'll just take this down to 10. Oops, still ate in. Command Z. Let me go to 5. Let's see if that works. Perfect. Oh, maybe not perfect. Command Z. Let me go to 1. Normally I don't ever go this low. There we go. That's fine. I just have to remember when I go back, it's going to be a problem because you know, you don't want to forget, and then you don't know why the Magic Erase tool is not working. So I'm going to go ahead and stretch this out. This will be my frame for my roof. And I'll make another one. Now remember, when you do the transform tool, if you want to flip it the other way, you have to hold down Shift and then go to this middle bar here, and then I can flip it the other way. All right, my dream house is lining up nicely. So let me put this. I do want this in the front, so I'll just drag this one to the top. Now it's in the top. All right. Now if I want to just make more layers with the fork, just go ahead and start putting them in. Do it on this side too. Well, these are, I need to move this layer down to the bottom. Let me just move that. There we go. Now these are all on top. All right, this is such a beautiful home I'm making here. My fork ceiling. All right, so I might want to move these down so they fit in there a little nicer. All right, kind of looks like a thatched roof there. So I did save that one cupcake, and the reason I did that, where's that cupcake? There, because I wanted to put it back there. Oh no, that's not that one. Let me put the forks all together here real quick, because I know those are going to stay. All right, so select them all by doing the Move tool, drawing a box, and then do Command E to merge them all again. All right, so get rid of that one. There's the cupcake I wanted. I'm going to put that right there. Command T. Let me stretch that into place, and it's just going to be a cupcake layer that hides in the background here. Because then when I put in my other one, there we go, and there we go. Now I can, there's my house. Oh, it's looking kind of like an igloo, actually. I kind of like it. All right, so now I just need to find my other, there it is. Hang on, that was hiding behind the screen. Now, I did the fork. I'm going to put the tree, but that'll be a finishing touch. Let's do the doors and windows. So let me get the window in, I mean the door in. There's my door. Oh, it's going to match perfectly. So I'm going to use quick selection here to select out that door. Quick selection is located here. I select out that door. Make sure you get all of it. So there's no problems. Command J. Then take the original, throw it in the trash. And there we have it. So my door is looking pretty good. That's how big I want it. I don't know. Maybe I'll make it this. You know, the size of the door really determines how big the house is. So I've got my my door there. I probably want to go in and erase this a little bit, so I go back to that layer. I'm going to go to the old-fashioned erase tool, and then get just right underneath here so it lines up nice. And then I'll work on that a little bit. All right, so now back to my other option here, and I'm going to bring the window in, and that's going to be a little bit trickier. And I picked a difficult window because I want you guys to see how, there we go. So there's my window. Now look at the perspective on that window. I need to make this window straightforward. Let me move this to the top layer so you guys can see clearly. There we go. All right, so first let me select out the window. I'm going to use the quick selection tool to select out that window. Select it all out. Make sure you get everything. Might want to zoom in. So I make this a little smaller. And then just select all that. There we go. Don't worry about getting things you don't want, like the fern. I'm going to fix that in 1 minute. So again, I want to remove this area below. Hold down Option, and now that comes out. So, you know, Photoshop's really smart. It can learn, but it's got to be really know exactly what you want. And try to get the shadow in there. And then if it gets to be too much up here, just hold down Option, and I can just kind of go back and forth until and get exactly what I want. I hope that's going to be okay. All right. Oop, not there. There we go. This is very tricky. Okay. So do a Command J and make a new layer with that. Throw the old one out. There we go. Uh-oh. That's a problem. All right. So I'll go back. I have my history palette selected. I can go back in time. And you can see what happened there. So just, there we go. Looks pretty good. Now do Command J. If history is not showing, just go to Window, and then you should be able to go down to History, and then make sure it's checked. And so I threw that out. Now it works. It's all there. All right, so obviously I need this coming forward. It's not in the right perspective. What do I do? Pretty easy fix. I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to go to Perspective Warp. Then I'm going to go ahead and click, and then drag the window. I drag this box around the window. So first, just line it up the best you can. It can be a little bit off. Hit Return, and it will activate the Perspective tool. So I'm going to go up to my ruler here. If your ruler's not showing, you can go to View and hit Ruler. And then if I click and drag, I can bring a guideline. If I click and drag, I can bring a guideline. I come over here, bring a guideline. Come over here, bring a guideline. The reason I want to do that is because when I start to move this window into position, I want to line it up with those guidelines. Otherwise, if I don't do that, my window is going to be out of perspective. So it's a little bit, might have to make another guideline here and stretch it over there. There we go. And that's pretty good. All right, so then I hit Return. And now let me get rid of those guidelines. Just go to View and get rid of Extras. And is that pretty good? Let me see. Well, that was, yeah, I could have went up a little bit more there, but it's fine. So View, Extras, and get rid of them. Okay, so then I do Command T, and then I can go ahead and shrink it down my window. Now, what about that area there? Let me fix that before we shrink this down. And then I could fix this top area. I'm just going to use the old-fashioned erase tool to fix this top area where it doesn't look perfect. I'll just be very careful here. The quick selection was not necessarily the best tool for that. It does get getting small, so I don't think we'll even notice. There we go. All right, so how do we get rid of this area? I'm going to go to the Clone Stamp tool. Now with the Clone Stamp tool, how this works is anything you touch, it's going to duplicate it in another area. So if I hold down Option, and it makes a little target, I click here, then when I go over, it's going to, where that plus sign is, it's duplicate anything where that plus sign is. So if I do it way over here, it's probably going to work a little bit better because then I don't have to worry about it duplicating the fern because it's so far away. Put it here, click, and just with Option, click here, and then go ahead, and then go here, click. It takes a little bit, and it's going to be a little bit tricky for you guys to learn, but once you guys get this, it's pretty easy to do. And it'll take you a little time. Even for me, it's a little tricky. But because once you go where that fern is originally, it wants to duplicate the original.